Hello and welcome to this presentation on the requirements and guidance on the management of hedgerows under farming with nature within the Sustainable Agriculture Programme. The aim of this action is to manage new lengths of hedgerows planted under farming with nature in a previous scheme year. We are going to discuss the requirements and guidance with managing hedgerows involved with farming with nature. Requirements. Growth must not negatively be affected by weeds. Dead hedge plants must be replaced to maintain an average of 5 plants per metre from the hedge plant species list. Hedgerows must be protected from damage by grazing livestock and wildlife on all sides as required. Protective fencing funded by the Farming with Nature must be maintained in stock-proof condition. Work must be completed by the last day of February of the same scheme year. Successful management of hedgerows means creating a dense hedgerow with a strong base and bushy growth from the bottom of the plants with a healthy structure. This is achieved by weeding the entire length and pruning a third of the growth of the newly planted hedge in the first winter after planting and replacing dead whips. Guidance: Pruning Year 1. After a year of establishment, formative pruning should take place in late winter where individual plants are lightly cut by hand just above a bud by about one-third of the growth to encourage dense bushy growth from the base. Shoots extending out from the hedge can also be cut back by about one-third to keep hedge narrow at this early stage, cutting just beyond a well-placed bud. Trees within the hedge should be marked or identified to ensure that they are not pruned and allowed to establish fully. Guidance: Mechanical hedge cutting on a 2 to 3 year rotation. Mechanical hedge cutting should be carried out in later years on a 2 to 3 year rotation to maximize flowers, berries and wildlife value. A lot of native hedgerow shrubs only flower and fruit on the previous year's woody growth, so pruning needs to be done every 2 or 3 years to encourage blossom and fruit while improving the hedge's structure and value for wildlife. Guidance: Mechanical hedge cutting on a 2 to 3 year rotation continued. Under DARE's Farm Sustainability Standard 2, hedge, tree or scrub cutting is only permitted in the period between the 1st of September to the last day of February. To help wildlife, it is best practice to wait until January or February to complete this action. Delaying cutting until late winter also ensures that berries persist on the hedge for as long as possible, providing a crucial food source for birds during the hardest part of the winter when alternative forage is scarce. See to the right a link to the Farm Sustainability Standards on the DARE website. Guidance: Ensuring survival of the hedge. Weeding. Grass and weeds compete with hedge plants for water and nutrients, dramatically slowing your hedge's growth and eventually killing the hedge. Maintain an area free from weeds and grass for about 75 centimeters on either side of the hedge. Hand pull weeds close to the hedge plants that grow out from under mulch fabric. Applying mulch suppresses weeds, preserves soil moisture, and increases soil fertility, which can boost your hedge's growth rate. Mulch can be grass clippings, compost, or well-rotted manure or wood chips or bark chips. Guidance: Replacing dead plants. It is vital that strong roots are encouraged in a newly planted hedge. In the early stages, hedges are particularly sensitive to drying out and vulnerable to competing weeds. A 100% success rate is difficult to achieve, and dead plants must be replaced with the plants from the hedge plant species list to maintain a minimum planting density of 5 plants per metre. Use 3 or more species to increase hedgerow diversity. Here is a reminder of the native hedge plant species under the Farming with Nature scheme specification. It includes blackthorn/sloe, dogrose, gorse/whin, guelder rose, hawthorn/whitethorn, hazel, holly, and spindle. Guidance: Hedge protection. The hedgerow must be protected from damage by grazing livestock and wildlife, particularly deer, on all sides. For this reason, it is essential that protective fences are maintained and any damage repaired. Fencing funded by the Farming with Nature Transition Scheme must still meet the specification requirements as when installed. More details, including specification, video materials, and guidance, are available to view on the DARE website. Thank you for listening to the Farming with Nature Management of Hedgerows Requirements and Guidance.